AOC goes ballistic at Zohran Mamdani rally. New York City is cooked. AOC goes on unhinged screaming rant at Mamdani rally in New York City. Socialist Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez went on an unhinged rant during a rally after communist Muslim New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani. Mamdani, a communist Muslim, born in Uganda, is running against former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican Curtis Sliwa. Zohran Mamdani is a far-left radical who openly admits he will raise property taxes based on skin color, specifically for white people. Top Democrats such as Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and New York Governor Kathy Hochul have endorsed Mamdani. AOC and Senator Bernie Sanders, two of the most unhinged and far-left lawmakers, joined Mamdani in Queens on Sunday evening. The theme of Mamdani's rally, New York is not for sale, reflected his pledge to challenge the billionaires and oligarchs funding his political opponents. The crowd chanted, quote, "Tax the rich," and booed New York Governor Kathy Hochul. She nodded, embarrassingly, in agreement and shouted, "I hear you." AOC then took the stage and busted out in a few new accents as she screamed into the microphone on Sunday evening.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in a vision to build the freest, toughest, and greatest city on earth.
I've honestly lost count as to how many accents AOC has presented to date. But it makes sense. These people don't care. These people are chameleons. They will do and say anything in order to rile up their base to get them to do exactly what they want them to do. But the reason why they do it is because they know they can get away with it. They won't get it past people like you or me that are actually paying attention. But it's their constituents, their NPCs, these drones, that don't even think for themselves. Botched Botox face, Governor Kathy Hochul, was out there in full force supporting Mamdani as well.
This November's election, but take that energy, that passion, and take it into 26 so that we can take back the House of Representatives, take the Senate, and take back our country. With your help, we will. Elect Zohran, and we take back America. Thank you, Queens. Thank you, New York. I love you guys.
It really does blow my mind that someone this inauthentic gets a pass. But I guess that's what the Democrat Party is. It's all theater. It's all fake. It's all scripted. But that's how they manipulate their constituents. It's really that easy for them. And they know it. And of course, crazy Bernie Sanders gave a hypocritical speech, as always.
These are not normal times. This is not a normal election. This election takes place at a moment in American history when we have a rigged economy with more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had in the history of our country.
Right, Bernie. Where were you during the Biden years? When the puppet Joe Biden was installed and Kamala Harris was installed, and they decimated the US economy. I didn't hear you complaining. I think you just sat back, sat down, and shut up and played your role. Zohran Mamdani himself obviously spoke to the packed stadium, issuing his communist utopia promises for the future of New York.
We are going to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants and use every resource at our disposal to build housing for everyone who needs it. We are going to eliminate the fare on every single bus line and make what are currently the slowest buses in the nation move around this city with ease. And we are going to create universal child care at no cost to parents. So New Yorkers can raise their family in the city they love. Together, New York, we're going to freeze the... Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and... Together, New York, we're going to deliver universal... We will make our city one where every person who calls it home can live a dignified life.
Right. And it's the same communist lie that has been told for centuries. That all of this free stuff is going to make everybody's life better and improved. But nobody stops to ask, who's going to pay for it? Well, we're going to have the billionaires pay for it, and the crooks. That's what they say. When in reality, everybody's taxes get raised, and the entire city gets cooked. That's how it ends every single time. Cancer, acne rosacea, multiple sclerosis, and rheumatoid arthritis are 4 different diseases in 4 different areas of medicine. What if they can all be treated with parasite medication, and that turns out for these diseases to be true? What if I told you that if you had a pet or ate sushi, you are more likely to have parasites? This means that a lot of our ailments that we experience every day are caused not by environmental issues, but by parasites as well. This is something Big Pharma does not want you to know about. I know many of us check off many of these boxes. This is why Purge is offering their new liver cleanse products for all of you out there that need to clear those toxins out once and for all. PurgeStore.com offers everything you need to cleanse and detox your body. Powerful enzymes and probiotics, 15-day colon cleanse protocols, liver cleanse, and of course, the parasite cleanse. Right now, if you go to PurgeStore.com and use promo code DREW, that's D-R-E-W, you will get 20% off your entire order. Use the link in the description below, PurgeStore.com, and support the Gateway Pundit today. The Gateway Pundit is supported by the people, we the people, that is you, the American people. We thank you for your support. Well, it's more than communism New York has to worry about with this guy. Zohran Mamdani gets emotional as he shares a story about his hijab-wearing aunt's supposed experience after 9/11, and it blows up in his face when the real truth emerges. Muslim communist New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani has been caught spreading a hoax. Last Friday, Mamdani claimed during a press conference in the Bronx regarding Islamophobia that his aunt suffered after 9/11, saying she felt unsafe in her hijab. Mamdani clearly saw a moment to garner sympathy from the adoring national media and his fellow Muslims as he closed in on becoming the Big Apple's next mayor.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Right. The real victim after 9/11 is Zohran Mamdani's aunt, who didn't feel safe in a New York subway because she wore a hijab. This is where New York is at. However, it turns out that Mamdani's aunt did not wear a hijab, nor even live in New York City during that time. In fact, she lived in Tanzania, thousands of miles away. Here is a close look at her LinkedIn resume, which shows her living in Tanzania from 1999 to 2003. Masuma Mamdani, Senior Program Development Officer, January 2000 to December 2003, 4 years. Location, Tanzania. Shocker. You mean to tell me a politician, particularly a Democrat, particularly a socialist, communist, a Muslim psycho, is lying about his past in order to gain sympathy for a bunch of low IQ constituents that'll eat up every single thing he says? Yeah, that's what they do. Victor Davis Hanson and Rob Finnerty weigh in on Zohran Mamdani and his true intentions. Quote, Mamdani wants to normalize radical Islam. He's already doing it. Victor Davis Hanson and Newsmax's Rob Finnerty weighed in on New York mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani and his true intentions on what he would do to the city if elected. Mamdani's Islamic extremism, combined with his Marxist ideology, has a major cause for concern. Hanson explained that he appears to be very careful with his choice of groups that he speaks to.
What does New York City look like in 5 years, Victor, if this guy wins in 12 days?
I think we know what it's going to look like. It's going to look like his campaign and what he's terrified of. Notice what he's terrified of. He's terrified of losing the 400,000 to 600,000 Muslim voters in the greater New York boroughs, and that he would lose them because they would give him no margin of error if he criticized that imam or he in any way criticized Islam. What he is also certain of, he can pose with an unindicted co-conspirator on the first World Trade Center attack because he feels that unlike his Islamic constituency, the upward metrosexual, yuppie, left-wing professionals that want to buy a brownstone and count, they will forgive him.
Yeah.
They will let him do anything they want, but he has a third rail, and that is his Muslim constituency.
That's what makes this guy dangerous, because they know that the leftists will give him a pass. The liberals, these low IQs, the social justice warriors, and the woke, they'll give Mamdani a pass. But the Islamic psychos that are currently occupying in New York City, foreign, abroad, enemies watching this election, they wouldn't. They will get their agenda. That's exactly why this guy is being installed. My name is Drew Hernandez for the Gateway Pundit, and you have been on Watch with Drew Hernandez. I'll see you guys on the next one.